Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I am doing kind of my thoughts and opinions on the Cold War Alpha from the first day that I played. Sorry people on Xbox and PC who aren't getting to play this. You're not missing a ton, you know, there's only 5 maps, there's really only 2 to 3 weapons in each classes, so it gets kind of repetitive in a sense, and a lot of the things that you may see in the Alpha will probably change, but first off, just weapons. Snipers, they're really good in this game. Just overall, you see a ton of people sniping and they're doing well in it. I don't know if they were doing well with snipers before, so I don't know if the snipers are super easy to use because I just personally am not a big fan myself of snipers. But sniping is really good in this game. But as far as the other weapons, the SMGs are fairly balanced. The AK-74U is easily the best weapon in the game, and so hopefully they tweak it. Not to make it just a big nerf, but a little bit of a tweak, and I think this game would be super balanced, like the Uzi kind of weapon, the type something something, and because I've only played one day, and the MP5, like, they all feel good. The AK-74U just outshines it, and the other two are very usable and very viable. Same with the ARs. Really, the XM4 and the AK-47 out of the assault rifles are the clear favorites, but the Krieg isn't terrible. It isn't great in my opinion, but I think XM4 and AK-47 are both the best ARs in a sense, but they're all about even. You know, there isn't one where it's super OP. You could use any 3 of them and do just as well. And then you've got tactical rifles, being the M16, which is a burst, which feels really nice. Not OP, but it feels nice and just feels really comfortable to use. The Type 63, that one I actually know, is, I wouldn't say it's a FAL, but it's a semi-auto weapon, and it has a attachment that you could actually increase its fire rate, so it fires at a pretty good speed. It's pretty good. I like that as well, and normally I'm not a big fan of semi-auto weapons. Really, the only semi-auto weapon that I've loved has been the Shiva from Black Ops 3, but I do like this Type 63, and so overall, the weapons feel nice. I don't really use the shotgun, so I can't say anything, or the launchers, because no, the pistols kind of feel weak, but then again, they are pistols. And that's really all that there is for this game in sense of weapons, because there isn't a ton. Score streaks. A lot of people might be scared that score streaks don't reset on death. And obviously I'm a pretty solid player, and I have gotten within I've played probably 6 to 8 hours of the alpha so far. Yes, I've played a ton. I've dropped maybe 6 or 7 chopper gunners. Take that how it is. As a pretty solid player, I think it's definitely a lot easier to drop chopper gunners than it was before, where you had to go on a streak. But that's because I'm going on these 3 to 4 kill streaks, and in this game where I'm playing on satellite right now, I do drop a chopper gunner. I drop 55 kills, and I don't drop it till towards the end of it. So again, this gameplay also shows me getting a chopper gunner, and I didn't get it towards the end. You might be scared. Yes, there are quite a few people that get attack helicopters, but like score streaks aren't really insanely spammed as you may have thought, because obviously they got a cooldown if somebody else is using them. Like, you can't both be using an artillery strike. You both can be using a spy plane though, so there's that. But it's fairly easy to get a spy plane, but because of the cooldown timer, you aren't just getting spy planes, boom, boom, boom. You typically get, if you're a solid player, 2 to 3 spy planes per game. So again, the streaks, you know, they feel nice. You know, it doesn't feel like there's a crazy spam. Obviously, you know, not resetting on death kind of scares people, but I don't think it's terrible. Obviously, the resetting on death, you know, if you're on a streak, you're playing a lot slower, you're camping for those score streaks. So I think the way they've done it, where you're kind of just moving around, I think it's definitely a solid fix to try to prevent camping. And then maps, and I'm gonna be talking about skill-based matchmaking as well. There is 100% skill-based matchmaking in the alpha. There is no way there is not, because I was the first 3 or 4 games that I played, I was dropping 30 and 2s, not 30 and 2s, but I was like 30 and 12, 30 and 18. I was basically having a 2 KD, and then I get into games where it's not hard, but it's not easy. I'm dropping, you know, a 1.2, a 1, you know, 0.9. So where I'm not doing as well, I'm kind of struggling. Where I'm facing pretty good players, and I wasn't expecting that for the alpha, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't expecting to go ahead and face people that were actually kind of trying, you know. I've kind of kicked back my feet and I was just chilling while playing this. But yeah, there's 100% skill-based matchmaking in the alpha, and that could definitely be a scare for you guys because it's the alpha. It's an unfinished version, so the skill-based matchmaking can change, but it's kind of scary saying that skill-based matchmaking is already pretty strong in the alpha, and we're not even to the full version. So yeah, take it how you want it. You know, it could be balanced and stuff. We don't really know yet. And again, I'm gonna talk about the maps now. There's 5 maps in this game. There's 2 12v12s, being the Armada map and the Crossroads. I don't like Crossroads, and I typically don't really play 12v12 or like 12v12, but Armada, you know, I like the boat, you know, it kind of flows pretty well. But in those game modes, there's just, because snipers are so good, you just see so many snipers. And the snipers are fairly easy to use. There is a lot of idle sway, so in the terms of, you know, what people would call hard scoping, it's not as easy, but yeah. And then the 3 6v6 maps, which are the maps that I've played the most, if I was to rank them, it'd go Moscow, Satellite, and Piccadilly. Wait, no, hold on, let me look at my notes. Oh, that's Miami. Oh, shoot. I wrote Piccadilly. Yeah. And so that might scare you. Miami feels very, very similar to Piccadilly. It is dark. There are a ton of different angles that you have to watch. It's kind of very open. You know, there's cars and stuff you could hide behind. And there's stuff that, there's some small little angles you could look through. Yeah, I don't like Miami, especially for respawn modes. You know, maybe your S&D, your VIP escort, the kind of search and destroy modes, the no respawns, no, it'll be a lot better. But for respawn modes, I do not like it. And so the respawn modes that I've played on it have been TDM, Kill Confirm, and Domination. I haven't played Hardpoint yet, as this is all my opinions on the first day of the alpha. Hardpoint's coming in the second day, so there's that. But I don't think it will change. Maybe I like Hardpoint for that map. But the other 2 maps being Satellite and Moscow. Satellite is pretty solid. You can see I am playing on Satellite right now, playing Domination. Domination's easily the most fun mode because you could rack up a ton of kills, and that's where you're typically dropping your chopper gunners. That's where I mostly have been. You know, I've dropped a couple of chopper gunners in Kill Confirm. I think I've dropped 1 maybe chopper gunner in Team Deathmatch, but Satellite can get a lot annoying because of the dunes. It's very open map, but the dunes area where you've got all the sand dunes, there's a lot of snipers that like to go there, and you could kind of head glitch the sand dunes, and there's a good amount of head glitches that you could kind of use to your advantage on those maps. So, you know, it's a little bit scary, but I think for a map like Hardpoint where you're rotating and stuff, and where these people are having to move around the map, I think it will be a lot better. But I don't hate Satellite, but I don't love it. It's definitely not a map that has a ton of close quarter engagement, so SMGs definitely are not favorable on this map. You know, there's some areas where you could get into close quarters, but typically I think it's going to be an AR kind of sniper dominated map where your longer range weapons will succeed more. And then there's Moscow, which I think Moscow is easily the best map. I like Moscow. It flows very well for TDM, Kill Confirmed, Also, Satellite has some spawning issues where you basically spawn in each other corner of the map, and it's pretty easy to get spawn trapped on these maps. So there's that. It's pretty easy to spawn trap on Satellite. Moscow, though, there's got great flow, and there's just, oh no, there's just great flow, and it just moves around very well, and it just works really well as a map. I can't really say anything wrong about Satellite, or not Satellite, Moscow. You know, there's 3 distinct lanes. You could cross over from the lanes. You know, there's so much that you could do, and like it's easy to avoid, and it's, yeah, you could say there's probably some areas to where people can kind of camp, but I mean it can be really easy to kill people. I haven't really noticed too many campers in this game except for in the 12v12 modes. A lot of people tend to play a lot slower and snipe. Same with kind of Satellite-ish. And Miami, it's just so dark, it's kind of harder to see people. Yes, there's the vibrant lights, but that doesn't really help that much. But yeah, you can see I got a shot like Anna. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think the alpha plays really, really well, but hopefully you guys can get your hands